Welcome back, accounting boffins, right? Remember, we're busy with cash budgets. We're looking at an actual question. Quick recap in terms of our budgets. We're talking about receipts, and obviously we have the information that we have here is that we're talking about our cash budgets, and our information that we have here is that we have the receipts, payments, and we've spoken plenty about it, so we're not going to go back into that part of it. What do we go into the question and we see there that again we're dealing with the business, Livewire traders, and what is it that is required of us now? We are expected to complete the debtors collection schedule for the budgeted period. Now remember, your debtors collection schedule, a quick recap, is based on credit sales, number one. So the most important component is your credit sales. Number two, you look at the proviso. How are your debtors expected to pay you? There's a certain grid that you are given information on telling you this percentage in this month, this percentage in the next month, and that's what we then use in terms of our calculations. And remember, ultimately, your debtors collection schedule will fit into your cash budget, where you will have an item that says receipts from debtors. And that's where your debtors collection schedule actually fits in. Okay, now, what are we told? Debtors are granted 30 days to settle their accounts as per policy. However, debtors, the payment pattern is as follows: 20% pay in the month of sale, subjected to a discount of 5%. 30% will pay in the month following the month of sale. 48% will pay in the following month, and the remaining 2% must be written off in the third month as a bad debt, as an irrecoverable debt. Okay, now this is what we have. We are also told that 75% of all sales are on credit, right? And your projected credit sales for September will be 180,000. Okay, so that's the information that we have. Okay, so now we go into our question and we say, fine. There's my August sale, right? And there's my credit sale is given to me. So clearly I can see that I have a credit sale already given to me. So there's no need to convert my total sales into credit sales. That's very, very important. Okay. We are expected to calculate the following. Here we can see that we are given the September sale of 150,000 Rand, right? And we're now going to use our proviso. Remember, our budget period is October and November. Right, so taking my September sale now into consideration, which is 150,000 Rand, I want to know what amount will I receive from my debtors for the month of October. So once again, the proviso is important. We said 20% in the month of sale, so September 20%. October will be 30%. So immediately I go and do this here. What should I do? I take my September sales to calculate the amount that I'm going to receive in October, and this is what I do. Take your 150,000, right, times your 30%, okay, and that gives you a figure of 45,000. So this means, therefore, that this figure here that we are looking for, there is my 45,000. Can you see? It is based on my September sale. Clear. Then I look at my September sale again in order to calculate my November figure. Once again, I look at my proviso, and my proviso tells me that 48% will pay in the following month. So what do? Once again, go back here, take my 150,000. 150,000 times my 48%, and that will give me a figure of 72,000 Rand. Okay, let's do that. So we can see that that figure is 72,000. Let's go into my calculation. There's my 72,000 Rand. So clearly you can see what are we doing. We're using the base month as the month of sale, whichever you are expected to calculate. You're then applying the conditions as to how our debtors are paying us. So there we got September done and dusted. Okay. Now we go on and we work with October, where the October sale was 165,000 Rand. Okay, so there we have it, 165,000 Rand for October. Firstly, we are told 20%, let's just verify that information. 20% pay in the month of sale, but now be careful on this one here, because 20% pay in the month of sale subject to a discount of 5%. Okay, now what do we know? We know that we're working with the 20%, let's do that. So we have 165,000. Let's cancel that. 165,000 times my 20% will give me that, times 95% will give me a figure of 31,350. Okay, here we go. There you can see 31,350. Now, just a quick recap. Let me go through my calculation again. One, you took your sale for October, which was 165,000, right? I'm going to write it here. So it's 165,000, step number one, times the 20% times the 95%. Why? Because if they settled in the month of sale, they are subjected to a discount of 5%. And as a result of the discount, you're now only going to receive 95%, and you saw the calculation. There we have 31,350. Okay, then we went on to, still with the October one, but the impact on November, and we know that that is the 30%. So it's 165,000, 165,000 times the 30%. Okay, and that should give a figure of 49,500. Let's check. There's my 49,500 that I'm expected to receive in November based on my October sale. So clearly you can see, guys, what is important here is firstly identify your credit sale. Number two, look at the pattern in which your debtors are paying you in terms of your percentages. And then it's a calculator skill just to work out your percentages. Okay, let's move on. Here we go. So now we have we've completed all the components of my debtors collection schedule. Remember, November, once again, I think that was the last one that we had to complete. If you looked at November, is 180,000. Let's do that calculation. 180,000 times, in the month of November, 20%. Let's not forget the 95%. Why? Because they're entitled to a 5% discount. Okay, so if we do that one there, let's take the 180,000, 180,000 times your 20% is equal to that, times the 95%, and you will see that you get an answer of 34,200. There we go. There's the 34,200 for November. Once again, look at your calculations, and clearly you can see that each of these months will impact on my budget period, which is October and November. Okay, this then gives you your completed debtors collection schedule, where you now add up all the components that you have in your debtors collection schedule for October, for November, and obviously this is my budget period, October and November, and you can see that August, September, October, and November impacted on my budget period, and therefore these are the totals that I alluded to earlier on. Remember, I said that the debtors collection schedule will fit into your cash budget as receipts from debtors. So what will you say? You'll say receipts from debtors for October, 141,150. What are we doing? We're adding all the components. Just another quick examination tip for you. Very often we find candidates leave out figures that are pre-populated. What do I mean by that? For example, you didn't calculate that figure. It was given to you already. Sometimes, just because, I don't know whether it's because of the fact that it's pre-populated or because you didn't write it yourself, you tend to forget it when you are adding. So make sure that you add all these figures here to get you to the total of 141,150, and the same would apply to November. Clear? Right. Okay, we move on now to the next part of the question where it says, remember that's the business we are dealing with, and it says, calculate the missing figures denoted by A to C on the budget, and the first one here is salaries. So that's the figure that we're calculating, the salaries figure. Okay, what information do we have regarding our salaries? Let's see. Salaries. The business has employed additional staff at a cost of 10,090 Rand per month, effective from the 1st of November 2020. Okay, this means therefore, what are we going to do? Here we have our salaries for October, which was 55,000 that was given to you. You are expected to calculate the salary now for November. Right? Here we go. You start off by taking the figure that you have already, which was your 55,000. That was the previous month. Now you are told that you have a new employee, right? And they will have a salary of 10,090, as a result of which your new forecasted salary will be, obviously, what you do here is take your 55,000 plus 10,090, and that will then give you 65,090. As you can see here, there's your 65,090. There's your 65,090, which is your new salary that you have forecasted in your budget period. Okay, so what have we done in this segment? We've shown you calculations on how to complete a debtors collection schedule and some figures that you need to complete the cash budget with. I'm sure we've piqued your interest and you want to know more about cash budgets, so stay with us. See you in a jiffy.